How y'all doing? I hope everybody is doing well today. Guys, we had to talk about this for a quick second. We noticed recently it's been a lot of conversations around children. We see that some children are being taken. We see the reaction of the media. We see the reaction of the parents. Some people feel like these parents don't deserve to be mothers or fathers. Some people feel like these kids deserve better. Because over and over again, when there is what seems to be some sort of a, I would say, repercussion for these people's behavior, they still remain the same. Rosalie and Jake's situation, we see that turn into a whole nother thing now, because Jake got his own platform and he's doing his own thing, and so now it's like, okay, the kids are not really being put in the background, but now all these people are using the story with the kids almost for clout, in a sense. And then you and I, the supporters, look and see that the parents' behavior still remain the same. And that in the long run, the impact these things will have on these kids, nobody's really thinking about that. Now we recently see a big conversation around Annie's daughter. People are saying this young girl is pregnant. People are saying this young girl has been having sex and her mother have been allegedly letting her lay down for dollars. Her own daughter Annie come out and have spoken her part. Further, further putting her own mother in a batty hole, because she's been a witness in that home for many years. And there are some really undignified circumstances that she has seen, while she live in the house with her mother. And a lot of people think that Annie will sell her pitney for sex. Get a little money, sell her pitney. There's many things people are talking about right now. They're saying this, she's the worst mother ever. She's terrible. She not protect her pitney. And Annie's also out there defending herself. I know a lot of these things come off as entertainment. But when I look at a young girl like Zoey, who has been on the media because of her mother, and her personal business is aired out on the media because of her mother, she may have a feeling like, say, she should be bold enough to engage, like she's not a child, because she's only, 14? She feel bold and emboldened, like she can just engage in things that maybe adults engage in, because maybe Annie has done things in front of her over the years, per her other daughter, bringing in different men in the house, doing different activities in the house. So maybe she feel emboldened because everybody do what they want to do anyway, so she can do what she want to do. People also state that, okay, this young girl is not in school, all right, and we can clearly see that it doesn't seem like she's been attending school, right? And I want to remind these parents in the chatters that for the long haul, when you don't allow a child to go to school and you don't hold a child, and put them in a school and stand by them as a parent, you don't know, so when they get old, that will cripple them. When they get old, that will become a stumbling block in that, child's life when they become an adult. I promise you. Because someone if you say, oh, me never have to go to learn to read and learn to do this and learn to do that. But guess what? We're living in a world right now. If you can't read, it is very difficult. And thinking about always depending on other people to live, when you cannot read, when you cannot this, when you cannot that, when you do not allow your kids to go to school and get the proper education, when you do not allow your kids to go out there and be children, but rather you have them on the media engaging in adult conversations, allowing your kids to see you engaging in particular relationships and conversations in front of her and not being an example. Who do you think they look at? Now people are saying, guess what? They need to lock her up as a mother because she knew her child was being so-called molested. Now they must say molest too. So you see the drama that is around these people. But who is thinking about what this will do to Zoe for the long haul? Who is thinking about what they're thinking about is defending their name? The one of them sitting there think about how they defend their name. I don't know what kind of mothers these are in the chatters. I really don't know what their problem is. But I really hope them people are finding a way. If Zoe is pregnant, we don't know. They must say she's pregnant. I didn't see her big belly. But if she's pregnant, that says a lot. If that young girl is truly pregnant, move the fly, that says a lot. And there's a lot of story now circulating about, adult activities that this young lady is allowed, to do, and that Annie does not govern them as a mother in the way that she needs to govern them. She does not, she allow them to have certain type of free reign to do what they want to do, go and come, however. And I'm telling you, if you live that lifestyle as a parent and you do not keep a child in line, that child will become the exact product they become because of you. No discipline, no education, you turn a fool for man. You understand? And they will find and seek comfort in men. And their plot will be man. When they rise up in the morning, it will be man. Their dependency will be man. When you allow your kids to have education, when you allow your kids to go to school, you allow your kids to have independence. When you allow your pitney them to go learn for themselves, no man and no woman can come in their life and change who they are. Chatters, I want you guys to know, taking parenthood seriously is important. And people should not take lightly when God give you a job to do. People should not take it lightly when God give you a job to do. Because you sit down and you have these pitney and you make them just run road red. And when later on, and you are the same one who come cuss them like dog. I'm not saying I expected anything more for these people. Because I have already seen who they are from day one. I have already seen it by the videos they do. All the digital footprints are there. Me and you, nobody can fool with. We see what they are. But for goodness sake, if Unna take telling and wake up, you're gonna lose your daughters and you're gonna have to watch them go down the drain. And you cannot sit back and say you didn't have anything to do with it as a parent. Because if Anna sit down and allow certain shiesty activities to happen in her household with her kids, as a mother, you are guilty. And I see that in her. I see that in her. Whether she will admit it or not, she's not fooling us. Look into these people. She's not fooling us. She can't come sing Sankey as she want. That's the same mother that called her mother in our pitney while she pushed out and carried for 9 months. Any type of thing. And in the book. What mother speaks to her children like that? What mother open her mouth to speak to her children in a particular manner? You have to look on yourself. Nobody have to come explain to us too much about you. Because we're not angry on the pitney. There are private situations that happen in your children's life. And you come out on the media and you hear out their private life. Even some of the things before the kids can talk about it themselves. Because being that they have their own platform. No, you have to come like a bird. Like a hawk. And pitch down. Just to come and tell how you want to tell them. When you turn around and they don't go your way, you come call them and kind of sit now, you run them out. But let me tell you something. You are the reason why your children are so angry. You're one of the reasons why they're so angry. And that is why they went off to find angry men. And then now it is like you want to seem like you're some victim or something. But I want to let you know, none of us over here is fooled by you, lady. We're trying to be nice, you know. None of us is fooled by you. You need to shape up as a mother. And I don't want to hear your big mouth. We don't care if you want to cuss us. We don't care. We don't want to hear your big mouth. Shape up yourself. Shape up a folly ground. Because I know me not see where your house where you built for a long time, you know. You take man like how shoes take socks publicly on social media. Shape up yourself. You understand? Alright. And when people lick on the cross on the head back in a ways that matter, you don't want to hear it. Because of the drunken spirit you now know. And I pray God will touch her heart and change her so she can see her way and her error as a mother. That family is so broken. That family is so broken from day one, from before she even picked me. The dynamic of that family and the things that that woman do in front of her kids. Yes, Miss Pauline, how are you, darling? The things she do in front of her kids. The things she say in front of her kids. Not only that, the things she put out on the public forum for us to witness, for us to see. You're not going to tell us you're a good mother. You might have been a struggling mother. You might do, you can't do like any other mother in Jamaica, whether you're struggling or not. Every woman go do what they have to do. If they want to keep them pitney. But guess what? You didn't do your best job. You're consuming yourself. You're consuming your relationship or your own way. And you do all these things at your age. And you need to shape up because you're going to see a young girl. And you're not. Now, every man do have to take responsibility for everything that they do. Because guess what? The whole of them I don't know. Except that 14-year-old child. What is a 14-year-old child? Not attending school, allegedly. What is a 14-year-old child? Being pregnant, allegedly. If it is so, that she's pregnant. Now we know the schooling part. She definitely ain't attending school the way she need to. And like we said, education is key. And if you want to raise a dunce bat and think that being street smart is the only smarts we need, no, my love. Being street smart is not the only smarts we need in life. Okay? Because if you can't read and you can't write, how are you going to get a decent job in life? You can't even pass the basic interview. Okay? So I don't know what a 14-year-old child at any stage thinking, you know, sitting back thinking about sex, like they should be having advanced sex, always having sex, engaging in sexual activities at a young age, or even being, let me tell you something. I know mistakes happen, you know. But we see the example that is before this young girl. And she doesn't have much to follow. Honestly. I understand how Zoey got in this position. Yes, she may, you know, shouldn't have go cross her leg or maybe she was forced. Maybe, you know, we know it ain't her. We know that part. It ain't her. Because, you know, there's probably some neutrality there. I don't know. But guess what? When things are happening, and you get used to it at 14 like anybody else. There's kids younger than 14 that is used to having active sex. Because if you have engaged from an early stage, your body start get used to sex. Alright? And it is not unusual for young girls to be having sex early, because in a culture like ours, how are you, Miss Alicia? In a culture like ours, you know, there's a lot of touching and molestation and feeling and harring too. You have to think about that. A lot of people are groomed. A lot of kids are groomed. You know, if anybody want to keep it real, you know, a lot of kids, you know, in Jamaica get groomed. And they be by their own family members too. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. And especially back in the day, you know how prevalent, Miss Alicia, that type of stuff was back in those days. Alright? But now, you know, we're wondering, was, you know, these girls touched at any point? I hear, you know, the man them that, you know, her mother kept bringing around. And I am sure one of them men probably tried it. Because when you bringing men around your kids, you gotta watch that. I don't even believe in bringing men around your kids like that. Unless it is somebody that you plan on marrying and you're going to introduce them. If you're just dating somebody casually, or you're just having a sexual partner, with, you know, partnership with somebody, like you're having some kind of, you know, you're planning that, okay, I'm going to mess around with you for a little bit or something like that. You know, you shouldn't be introducing people like that to your children. You don't introduce your kids in these relationships that are not permanent in our lives. Like, we should not. We should absolutely not. Me pity they come and meet this man here, and if no, all of a sudden you want to call him daddy. All of a sudden, and then your kids get attached to these men, and then these men leave because you and these men break up, and they don't say anything to the kids. They give no respect to the kids. It's like dragging and just pulling the kids through too much trauma. I don't want no man around my kids that are not going to be permanent in my life. I don't take those things simple. And a lot of people do that. You want money, you take man like how shoes take socks. And you decide to do these things, but let me tell you something. We're not doing it. Chatters, I'm going to tell you something right now. So true, kids are having sex at an early age. So sad. A lot of kids, a lot of them are groomed. A lot of them are, forced into these things. A lot of them are pushed into these things. You know what I mean? So guys, I'm going to tell you something. Just encourage people to really, if you're around somebody you see, they're just not doing that job that then they can do, encourage them to do better. Because I see that Anna and her daughter, trust me, they resemble in a lot of ways. You see that young girl have a lot going on in here. And we just pray that God help her, God bring her deliverance, God, heal her heart, because that young girl pain is not just from Redans. Or even the fact that she would sit with a man that would batter her. You understand what I'm saying? Or a man that would just disrespect her in such a manner, right? So, these people have these things going on the inside of them. And even though there's people, that may give them positive, feedback, they won't hear that because they're too caught up, in the wrong thing. When I look at these things, it make me sad sometimes to see them, Because I say, my God, imagine being so broken, you used to make a man beat you. And you say, I love. These things are just not okay. It make me sad because I know it is based on how they were raised, and I know it's not. I'm not saying they can't take responsibility as an adult now. They have to now take responsibility and see where brokenness is and step up and go get help. Because if you don't, it spills over into motherhood. It spills over into your friendship. It spills over into all these relationships you got going on. You understand what I'm saying? So the reason why we get help is maturely knowing that if I don't get help, because sometimes you think you can control it, sometimes you can't control your pain. Sometimes you don't, it comes out in different ways. And I see that thing coming out in that girl's. She's a mother, but I see that coming out in her, in the way she act on the media. And she's always crying. That girl is very depressed. That girl is very depressed. You understand? Think about being at a stage of depression and what it feels like to be depressed and having a man that won't love you right. And then you have all these internal issues that still there from the past that have not been dealt with. You understand what I'm saying? We have to think about the bigger picture here. But over here we're gonna have the heart talk, real talk conversation. We're never here to bash them, but we're here to speak truth to facts. You hear me? I say truth to power. We're gonna let you know. Anna, shake up a folly ground. Miss Hudson, how are you? You as a mother, you're not shaping up, You're busy defending yourself. No, you need to shape up. You need to shape up. And what is done, and there's nothing you can do. But there's a lot of work to be done. And if this young girl is pregnant, and if this young girl has been allowed to be free, roaming, and all these things, who is the mother? Who has the authority in the house? I wonder who. But no, you've been busy changing man, like her shoes, change socks, according to the media. Now remember, we're following you guys' footprint. We're following the things you put out. We're not here making up stories on nobody. We're not here doing none of that. No chatters, it's your girl Anik, and it is Chit Chat TV, because over here we have the Heart Talk, Real Talk conversation. We don't have to go too far on a topic like this. We always tell them, get it together. They don't want to hear it, that's their business. They're too busy trying to influence people, and their influence is very negative. But for all the people that like to be entertained, y'all know what it is. Once in a while we watch a mix-up too. I say, watch ya, let me learn from these people that what I'm not going to do when I have a kid, and what I'm not going to do when I have a family, is come out on the media exposing my life. And now the whole world is in my business. Shake up off the ground. Police. CDA's running around trying to take people's kids. Okay? They try to take people's kids. So all I want to run around, they watching y'all. They watching y'all. Start shutting your mouths. Start being aware of the things you're saying and doing on the media. Because these videos come back to you, and you cannot change what happened when these videos come back. I promise you. Chatters, I love you. Make sure you guys are following the page, sharing the video. Wherever I am, maybe TikTok, YouTube. Follow the good girl. All right? Love y'all. Have a great rest of your evening.